Hello everyone, hello everybody, this is 41 Solstice 25, Winter Solstice 8. And it's been a little while since last time I actually did a video to do with Guild Wars 2. But there's been a few notable changes. Like I did get some of these weapons for a few of my characters. Besides that, I did also, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I have like a bit of like a feedback thing going on here. I haven't figured out how to fix that. Like, for some reason, like I always notice, like, some of my natural voice, usually around, like, S's or, like, C sounds, sort of, peak a bit more in my voice. Like, I hear a bit of that in, like, as, like, an audio feedback. And if I, like, rub the mic, I'd be able to hear it also pretty distinctly. I don't actually know why. Yeah, I've been trying to like figure that out because I did a whole bunch of stuff new with my computer. Like, I put in an SSD drive. I put in, let's see, Windows 10 now. So yeah, I have like a tad bit more storage than before. Things should load a bit faster, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, besides that. One of the things I definitely did not go on about before was the new Warclaw mount. So the Warclaw, it's pretty easy to get. So as soon as you can get it is world versus world reward track pretty much. That's about the soonest you can get it. You have to do a reward track. Otherwise you have to take a tower, you have to take a camp or scouts I think. And you most certainly have to take a keep. Like if you can get that stuff done pretty quickly, the thing that'll hold you back is the time it'll take to complete a reward track, unless you have like the potions for that. So like just skip through the reward track. So yeah. And of like the regular mounts, before considering Skyscale, I haven't actually like taken a good look at Skyscale in that regard. This does pretty much the most damage, I believe. Or at least it did. I think they might have nerfed it. I think it used to also cause bleed, or maybe that was just in World versus World. I don't know. That's strange. Could have sworn it did bleed also. But let's go on about what this video was actually thrown together for. There is a new episode. Now where does it take place? Right here. In the unending ocean. Southeast of Ember Bay, or south of Ore, basically. I had the impression people were looking at me. But anyway, let's go there right now. And not Lion's Arch. Strangely enough, I didn't fill that area out on this character. But the new area is pretty good. Although I really liked the story instance of it taking us there the most. Like, that was absolutely awesome. But let's catch up on what happened in previous story, I guess. And that should help us with kind of guesstimating what might be up with the current story. But first things first. So in the previous episode story, we we tried to catch Kralkatorik's attention. We built spears out of basically like resonance and like stuff from his own minions and oil from the dredge. So that's how that went. But now for the big spoiler about that. Aurene dies. Or seemingly. It looks pretty promising, and even all your characters believe it, even to the next episode. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, one of the more interesting aspects of this place is, well, the place itself, I would say. These areas are way different from places we might have been to before. I mean, this part looks kind of familiar to us to some degree. But you'll see what I mean in just a second. For starters, this is Kralkatorik's tail, by the way. Like, if we take a look at the map... Yep. I'm not gonna say any more on that regard, because that's, if you really want to see it or know about it, you should just do the story, or if you want, you can just wait till I'm at a point where I feel like talking about it.
And that's passable. Good luck out there.
But this is different. What is this? An absolute blaze of landscape. Practically an inferno. What is going on? Now for the only other spoiler I will talk about. We sent him out of the mists. And he took some of the god realms out with him. Which is basically how some of this map is. I must say, my frame rate is kind of garbage right now. Which is actually making me a little hesitant. But let me just take a gander from the map's perspective. So we got the only normal area. We have a bit of Krauk zone. We have basically the Balthazar area. We have the Gwen area, the undead or underworld area. And then we have Melandru zone. And Krauk's wing. That thing's severed. I'm really not gonna go over more details on that regard. Yeah. This is a pretty cool place, and all the enemies here are pretty unique. Why is my frame rate such garbage? Here's an example of them. We have these shadow figure foes, which are based on a bit of the Guild Wars 1 classes, I'm pretty sure. Or if I just like find different areas, if it'll just be a little better frame rate. I assume it's because there's like metas and then there's like this brandstorm shit. But oh, I should not be trying to harvest this right here. I'll never fly again. I really wanted that though. But let's sort of go take a look around a little better. There are fire hydras here. These things are absolute jerks. will find a lot of statues of the representing gods in each of their little areas. Now, while it's true that Balthazar is no more, his god realm in the mist was still there. Like, pretty untouched. Oh. Didn't notice that detail. There's like faces in Grant's robe. Or skulls, I guess, here. Yeah, and a face. But this is the Grenth area. There is some brandstorm here. But it shouldn't be too rough, but there is a lot of like skeleton things here and a ghost flare, whatever that is. There's flesh worms. There's other things. Where are said other things? But I do believe I want to actually kind of go this way for something. Maybe the other things are only up high. Maybe that's why I'm not seeing them. Usually wait, there's one. The Vessel of Rage. It looks like an undead that's basically a ghost. And it just like runs up to freaking the heck out. As you can see, this place is pretty crazy. And just staying in one place on the ground is an absolute disaster, if I'm being honest. So obviously, being able to fly around would be such a helpful thing here. Now there is Skyscales here. I did unlock the collections to work on them, though it's a notably annoying collection, I guess. Oh, there was a moat there. But yeah, there's Skyscales. I am able to ride these here, but I don't physically own a Skyscale yet. From what I can tell, I have to gather eggs. I have to do a bunch of things to those eggs.
That's it.
And I have to do something with that.
Up we go.
But here's what the Skyscale can do. It can hover fine. It gets like the second sort of stamina bar, which is actually a nice thing, kinda. But in my opinion, it might also be like an annoying thing. If you run out of the blue bar, you do start descending, which I think is going to be the point that's gonna annoy most people. Now at the moment, it definitely cannot go any faster than this. It gets this as like a mid-air dodge. And it's not too amazing for taking up elevation right now, or at least not for me. Using the one skill makes it target a spot in front of you, like directly in front of you, and light it a flame. Let's actually read that a little better. Now noteworthy, that is actually a pretty decent amount of damage, which means it's probably going to be like the new attack mount. Especially if you like Condi, perhaps. I think you might be able to get some kind of use out of it in some way, a little more that way. But it can stick to the sides of walls is a notable factor. Only if you're like holding forward after pretty much facing a wall. Which I feel is going to be a thing I'm going to absolutely hate. But I do want this Mistborn moat. Yeah, you can see all this chaos going on here. It is absolutely lovely. Now let's talk about some of the collections I had to do working on the mount. Let's see. I am almost caught up in a lot of my main achievements for this place. Like, let's take a look at how far I am at this. To getting the Corsair boot box. I'm one achievement away. I have to save like 15 more bridges. Which I'm not excited about because that's kind of annoying. But let's see. That I know of, this is the main series of achievements to work on getting the Skyscale. Now, that I know of, I am most of the way towards getting a Skyscale. I just need to start doing the collections more seriously, and like I had to find scales. There were scales literally everywhere on this map. There was some at this wing, there was some at that wing, there was a lot by the water, a few of them on the branches and things. There was one on a tree up here-ish. There was a few just about the cliffs and things. Yeah, I'm on a few that were down in places like this. In fact, this might be one of the areas... Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like one somewhere down here on one of these trees. Of like the smoldering burnt looking ones. There was one on a pillar back at the Pact Command. There's an achievement to get on this airship. It's Caithé's ship. And like not just be on there, but like talk to the NPCs there. So yeah, that's neat. This place does a bit of like an unlocked camp sort of thing. Kind of like Dragon's Stand. Honestly, this whole map could be described as being a lot like Dragon's Stand in that regard. Where you move these camps along until some big final push event. But also it does like Auric Basin sort of rules when it comes to like the real event. Where there'll be at one point 3 legendaries that spawn around here-ish. And these legendaries need to all be killed at the same time. So yeah, I could really describe that as being like Auric Basin rules. But when the meta point is coming up, for each section that's like caught up in all their stuff entirely, like once they get like the ley line, reflectors and everything in, there'll be shrines that we can use as like waypoints even in battle for free. There'll be like 3 of them. It's gonna be really neat. Honestly, this is actually quite enjoyable, if I'm being honest. So yeah, there is a whole lot to enjoy out of this place. But actually, let's kind of go back to the Pact command, because there is something. What on earth is someone doing there? I should probably get some ecto real quick. Remember folks, if you ever want to just go straight for this bridge, just take the Burning Forest waypoint. Don't even consider this one. If you take this one, you're just going to get harassed the entire way there and you're not going to enjoy it at all. So lower burning paths of the Balthazar area, they're usually pretty not too destructive. Meanwhile, you go anywhere in the Granth area, it's gonna be horrendously destructive with enemies. Like Balthazar path, they're either grouped up a useless salamander drake or a hydra that can probably hit you. And if it's on the bottom path, it's either a salamander drake or a hydra. If it's a hydra, you should probably be ready to get your dodges going. If it's a salamander drake, you can just roll on through. You're perfectly fine. So that's why I suggest using the Balthazar waypoint. Otherwise, you go down this other area. Half the enemies there are archers, and it takes them like 3 hits to get you off your mount. So, yeah. Then you're also much more likely to come across a few branded that way. And branded are practically anti-mounters. Like, branded actually aren't at all common in the northern half. So it is just pure convenience to use the northern path in that regard. Like, otherwise, if it's like this bridge here, just take this because it's closer. I don't actually know where this path goes. I haven't really seen it. Oh, I see. It goes underneath. That makes sense. I was just thinking, how on earth does that bridge take them to get this waypoint going? But yeah, that makes sense now. I forgot there was that underside path. One of the interesting things we see here is Gwen Thackery. Ah, thing on my screen. Make it stop. I just wish we had her hair. We definitely do not have her hair. And sometimes she talks to Rytlock and Logan here. But let me just walk you through Rytlock's dialogue. They're fine, everything's fine. Just fine. I'm fighting alongside the Goremonger commander. She killed so many iPhone, why? Are that we talk about her to scare our cubs? How exactly am I supposed to feel about that? So yeah, pretty great. Ah, I'm lost. I'm lost, I'm turned around. I don't know which way to go. Wait, I think I was supposed to... Wait, no, it's right here. And to conclude the last of the area type enemies, there's these naturelings, which are kind of like, I don't know what a purifying punch is exactly. There's these wisp things. The naturelings are kind of like, rock elementals. They do like basically like an AoE style of combat. You can't stop me. Not even in hell. I would say these are probably some of the more annoying enemies, or at least not the most annoying enemy. The actual most annoying enemy is the stalkers here, mostly because of their pursuit and high damage. I would describe them as being almost like the, what do you call them? It's been a while. Smoke scales. They're almost like smoke scales, only with less evade, which is still quite considerably annoying. Last but not least, let's talk about the newest fashion. So there's 2 sets per armor type. There's the Mist Shard. Then there's the Blossoming Mist Shard. This is the light armor, by the way. My character was definitely not intended to wear any of that. Okay, medium type. Looks pretty cool. Now this, on the other hand, actually goes half decently with my character. Now let's look at the Blossoming. Very neat. Now let's look at Heavy. Shard. Now this, I'm almost set on the regular Mist Shard set, and I'm 2 pieces away from the Blossoming set. This is the regular Heavy set for Mist Shard. And the Blossoming set. It's possible at some point I'm actually probably going to switch some of my current armor over to this, but with enough time. But until then, I might do a video later on if I can figure out perhaps like better frame rate or something in that area. But until then, thank you so much for watching. I am 41 Solstice 25, Winter Solstice 8, and you have yourselves a good day. Bye bye.